recess. We have 1 minute left, and since we publicly announced the 5-minute recess, we want to give people time to get back.
Okay, thank you.
Gives you time to
I know. Yes.
Roller skates.
Oh, thank you. Looks good.
Have you ever had one?
What are they?
Those are good.
Waffles? They're like a Dutch.
They have like a little caramel inside.
No, I
They're good. I like to.
Could be an ad for Zbur waffles. Is this like they're televised? So they're
Yeah, it's a commercial break.
But
This session has been sponsored by.
Okay, we are back. We are back from our recess. Thank you very much. Mr. Assemblymember Zbur, would you like to present Assembly Bill 478, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, members, thank you for your patience. When disaster strikes, no one should have to choose between their own safety and their pet's survival. That's why I'm proud to present AB 478, a bill that is rooted in compassion, common sense, and real experience. It will ensure that pets are accounted for during emergencies and that cities and counties develop clear procedures to support pet owners during evacuations. The bill was inspired by Oreo, a Pomeranian who went missing during the Palisades fire and survived for 5 days in the debris before being reunited with his owner. During disasters, pets may be separated from their owners due to a variety of reasons, including owners not being home at the time of an evacuation order, lack of equipment, or difficulty in capturing the animal. While animals are legally categorized as property, most people view them as family and as such are determined to save them. While we have seen incredible examples of fire and safety officials working alongside the public to rescue pets, as well as the extraordinary efforts of local animal shelters and rescuers, we owe it to pet owners across California to ensure that a plan is in place before disaster strikes. Upon the next update of a city or county's emergency plan, this bill would require the jurisdiction to include procedures for rescuing pets in mandatory evacuation zones. Within that requirement, local jurisdictions have the flexibility to determine what procedures would be most relevant, safe, and efficient for their unique circumstances, and that are flexible under various emergency situations. The bill also directs cities and counties to provide clear online resources on pet evacuation and reunification, as well as a list of pets that have been rescued, and provides time and dignity to both animals and their owners by extending the time owners have to reclaim their rescued pets before they're adopted out, transferred, or euthanized. AB 478 will help to ensure that clear pet rescue procedures are in place prior to disaster so that rescues are conducted efficiently and will incentivize pet owners from endangering themselves by attempting unauthorized rescues. Respectfully ask for your aye vote at the appropriate time. With me today in support of the bill are Mayor Lana Negretti, Mayor of Santa Monica, who will speak to the need for the bill based on her unique experience during the recent fires in the LA area, and Nick Saquette on behalf of the Social Compassion and Legislation, the sponsor of the bill.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Chair Ranson and members of the committee. My name is Lana Negrete. I'm the Mayor of Santa Monica. Thank you very much to Assembly Member Zbur for authoring AB 478. I'm honored to be here today in support of this important legislation. I would expect, as you would expect, being the mayor of a city affected by the Palisades fire and mandatory evacuations, I was inundated with various calls for assistance from residents. One of the most common issues residents asked about was when and how they could get their pets that were left at home when they were asked to evacuate. Unfortunately, even with the access that I had as mayor of Santa Monica to emergency personnel, including OEM, I was unable to give my residents clear guidance on how to go about rescuing their animals. I had personnel experienced in disaster response animal rescue who had been given keys to folks' residences and asked if they could help rescue their pets, if only he was able to actually get through and get access to the area. Sadly, because there were no pre-existing procedures or plans in place on how to go about facilitating animal rescue, I could not get any authorization from OEM or anyone else to allow these experienced rescuers authorized access to the evacuated areas. In fact, everywhere I turned, I was pointed in a different direction to go speak to that person or go speak to this person. And I, in fact, dragged this person to every presser that I had during the fires, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get any help. If that was my experience as the mayor, you can only imagine the frustration and terror that residents felt trying to get help getting their pets. Trying to figure out a plan after the disaster strikes is not a winning strategy. Families love their animals and are naturally going to be panicked and desperate to save them during an evacuation. Without a pre-existing plan, many residents will take action into their own hands, but as you can imagine, that can only lead to confusion and chaos and create safety concerns for residents and emergency personnel alike. As elected officials, I think we owe it to our constituents to have a plan in place to facilitate their rescues. The bill simply directs our cities and counties to do just that. What that plan looks like, who implements it, those are choices that each jurisdiction will have to make on its own. This bill can't dictate that kind of granular detail, but what it can do is push each of us to lay out this very important plan. So we all know these disasters are only becoming more frequent, unfortunately. So let's make sure that we are ready. And with that, I thank all of you for the time that you've allowed us here, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote. I'm so sorry. I flew in and I'm losing my words, but thank you.
We appreciate it. You did a great job. So you have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chair, members. My name is Nicholas Sackett, Director at Social Compassion in Legislation, an animal advocacy nonprofit founded in 2007 and proud sponsor of AB 478. The reason why we and other animal rights organizations support this bill is because we are acutely aware of the bond that our supporters have with their animals. We see every day the lengths that Californians will go to save their pets from harm, the way that their pets bring them comfort, joy, and love. A 2024 Pew Research poll showed that 97% of Americans consider their pet family, with 57% of women and 64% of lower income demographics saying their pets are as important to them as a human family member. Legally, animals are seen as property, but we all know that the bond that we have with our pets goes well beyond that. This bill recognizes the reality of those figures and the anxiety and emotional turmoil people feel when they need to rescue their animal, but can't because there are no procedures or authorities to turn to for direction on how to go about doing so. As Assembly Member Zbur said in his opening, this bill simply requires local jurisdictions to put a plan in place so residents know who to ask for help and how to go about doing so. So with that, I'll cut my comments short and thank you for your time and consideration, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentations. Are there any witnesses in support of the bill?
Good evening, Chair and members of the committee. Sosa Madanak here on behalf of Animal Legal Defense Fund and Strong Support. Thank you.
Any additional witnesses in support? Witnesses in opposition of the bill? Of course not. I didn't know animals had a legal defense fund either. I was just saying. All right. Let's bring it back to members. Are there any questions or concerns to be? Assemblyman Bennett.
I'm going to preface my comments by saying it's sort of our job being on a committee, and when a bill is in front of committee, that's when you really want to get granular about the bill and try to talk about the things that are important to make it a great bill. And the idea that cities and counties should come up with these plans for this is overdue. Things have changed in terms of our relationship with pets, and we clearly need to recognize that. So I applaud you for that. The thing I'm concerned about is the very same thing. Our concerns for pets means it's the part of your bill that says that that prohibits pets from adoption, euthanasia, or transfer from a local animal control for 90 days. That can be a huge burden. We we take great pride in what we're trying to do with animals in Ventura County. I served on the Animal Reg Committee for a long time, and we're always fighting sort of a loaded up facility and trying to get enough people to adopt, et cetera. And so I'm just concerned that, to the extent that animals, as you stated, that they become like human beings, real family members. If you're not looking for a family member within 45 days at the animal shelter, you're probably not that attached, right? So I would encourage a modification of the 90 days, and I would encourage the other thing, and that is, what if they're full and they've got another shelter that they could transfer the animal to? As long as they keep track of the animal, you know, this is the picture of the animal, this is what we know about the animal, but don't strangle these places with, you know, a full facility and then they can't do anything appropriate, you know, with that. So anyway, those would be the two suggestions I would have for modifications, but I certainly am going to support the bill with that and hope that is something that you might be able to work out.
We're aware that that is actually one of the issues that's been raised with the bill. We're actually talking to some of the folks from the animal control space and are talking to them about what the appropriate amount of time should be. The current law allows an animal to be euthanized within 3 days, and we know that that's not enough time. So we do want to extend it, and I think we're going to be looking to an appropriate amount of time that gives folks time during a natural disaster where it may not be something where they can get to an animal shelter or understand where they are, an appropriate amount of time to rescue their pet.
So if you would look at time and also look at the ability to transfer
Yes.
if they're full. Thank you.
Of course. Yep.
Thank you, Assemblyman Bennett. Any other comments or questions? No? Okay, well, hearing none, is there a motion? All right, we have a motion by Assemblyman Arambla and a second by Assemblyman Bennett. Assemblyman Zbur, would you like to make any closing comments?
I just want to thank my sponsor and Mayor Negretti, and respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Awesome. Okay, with that, Secretary, please call the vote. We have a motion to pass to the Committee on Appropriations. Do pass.
AB 478. The motion is due pass to the Committee on Appropriations. Ransom.
Aye.
Ransom, aye. Hadwick. Aye. Hadwick, aye. Arambula. Arambula, aye. Baines. Bennett. Bennett, aye. Calderon. DeMaio.
Awesome. Thank you, Assemblyman Zbur.
Thank you
We're
very
going to
much.
leave our roll open for members to add on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.